What's something you've done in your life that you would not recommend? Blowing too much money too quickly. How much we talking? Let's just say quite a lot. It should have lost it for years. $28. I would say you won, but I have no money to give you a prize. Doing hard drugs. Especially opiates. Don't go anywhere near that shit. It has destroyed everything good in my life. Now I'm middle-aged. Stranded, alone. And just running out the clock. I'm 21 and the same boat. I still have a chance. I hope at least. I'm currently going through the withdrawals from snorting 10 plus cartel oxy 30s a day and have been sober for 7 days as of today. And I hope I can continue. Dude, you really can do this. Remember that failure is not falling down. It's staying down. You won't be the first to do it, you won't be the last either. But you can be among that amazing, self-loving group of people who come out the other side a happier, whole person with a meaningful life of love, peace and happiness to be enjoyed. And you deserve that. Godspeed. You can definitely continue. Keep going, buddy. Being fat, it sucks. Also, don't fat shame. They already hate it and don't need your help feeling bad about themselves. What's your honest opinion about fat acceptance? The fat is beautiful, and if you don't date fat people, you're awful types. I personally divide the fat acceptance stuff into 2 categories. You got the what I call the proper fat acceptance, which is just simply being able to look in the mirror and be happy with what you see. That you understand the risks involved with being fat, but you can still be seen as beautiful and attractive and everything. And then you got the people who fucking ruin it by claiming shit like being 500 pounds and being perfectly healthy, or how they're more active and healthier than most athletes. You know, the delusional people who kick off at people for intentionally losing weight. Smoking cigarettes for 20 years. What were the short, medium and longer term impacts that had for you? Not ok, but short term and medium term. Constantly wishing I had one around and at the same time wishing I could stop it, but whenever the chance happened I always light up. Long term. Man, my fucking lungs hurt and the phlegm. Worst mistake of my life. 23-year smoker over here and I just can't quit. I'm sure it'll end me one day. Worst part is I have to clear my throat constantly because it feels phlegmed up. And I can't run a block without losing breath. I can tell my air intake is really bad too, and it affects me getting a good night's sleep. Don't smoke. Edit. Thanks for the kind words and support, everyone. My life is improving and my motivation to survive has increased lately due to recent events. I don't want to lie and say that after this post I will quit. But I do want to say that I do want to quit. And it is not off the table. And I will cut back slowly until hopefully I can drop it one day. Procrastinating. You're so very wrong, but I'll tell you how you're wrong later so I don't have to now. Speaking of wrong, you're twice. Procrastinating a ton is bad. But a little can be helpful. Allowing ideas to ruminate, breathe in your mind for a short time can lead to insights you might not otherwise think of. Be a dick bully, sarcastic ass to cover up your massive insecurity that ironically came from being bullied. 14-15-year-old me was a pathetic asshole and it still makes me cringe 30 years later. I apologized to a lot of people my senior year of high school. Had to have a long sit down with myself and look at how I was treating people. Especially those I was attracted to for some odd reason. Was being super toxic because I was convinced they were too. Crazy what you can convince yourself of. I feel exactly the same as this, I'm ashamed. Using soap to stroke your sausage. What? He said using suds to pull his pud. The soap causes a very intense burning sensation that can last for quite some time. Also, soap makes the skin rough. So soap or shampoo is not a good alternative for lube. Learned that the hard way, no pun intended, in college. I was an idiot back then. Once and never again. 10 years ago, at the peak of my depression, I tried to commit suicide by setting myself on fire. I regained sanity 10 seconds later. I became a match, but the irreversible damage had already been done. 4 months of hell at hospital. 14 skin transplants, surgery. Tons of money spent in protective creams, physiotherapy and medicines. 50% of my body destroyed, and last but not least, my depression got even worse. Now I'm doing relatively well, but I went through hell and survived. If you got depression, please seek help and talk to someone. Jesus, that's got to be one of the worst ways to die. I'm glad you are still with us today. Thanks. Depression is the devil inside my soul. But not I've learned how to deal with it. You must have really hated yourself to choose fire. My god, that must have hurt. Waiting until middle age to try to get back in shape. It would have been a lot easier to maintain a semblance of athleticism as opposed to letting it all go and starting again. I played college sports. Was a great athlete. Then I got fat. Always figured after sports and military duty it would be easy to get back in shape. Simple diet and exercise. Calories in, calories out, NBD. It's been 15 years of it only takes 3 months to get in shape. I'll start tomorrow. Smoke cigarettes, skip school, not study. Life isn't fun when you see your counterparts be more successful than you, knowing you could have taken the same steps they did. Sure, nothing's guaranteed, but I'd wager that had I actually gotten good grades in HS, I could have gotten into a better university, and from there into a more successful circle that leads to more successful employment. Study. I agree, I'd be in a lot better place if I had better grades in HS. Maybe it's easy to look back and say these things, but we have no way of knowing if it's true. No one knows how their lives are gonna turn out. I like to think I'm where I'm supposed to be at any given moment. Marry too young, nothing against marriage, but better wait some time. I'll add to this, marrying too fast. I'll also add to this, marrying to fix your relationship. I'll add to this, having kids to fix your marriage. Also, having a marriage to fix your kids. No one thinks about that one. Also, marrying your kids. Share naked pics of yourself with someone at school. Spreads quicker than a wildfire. Username checks out. LMAO. Being a 12-year drinking alcoholic. 5 years sober. Yup, really wish I had skipped that. Same bro. I remember going to parties in high school and being the one guy to chug a bottle to impress everyone. It's eventually caught up to me and made me an alcoholic. Made a podcast about my parents' shitty parenting abilities in 8th grade for an English project that was posted on my middle school's website. Let's just say they found out and that year was not a good year. Your school was very irresponsible for posting that content. Seriously, WTF were they thinking? After drying out chilies in the oven and ground to a powder, I decided to scratch myself in the way that men do. I spent 40 minutes lying on a bed, breathing like an asthmatic goat. 0/10. Eat 7 or 8 peanut butter and jelly sandwiches in one sitting. Had the worst stomachache of my life. I thought I was gonna die. It was when I just became an adult and thought I could do whatever I wanted now. Just because you can doesn't mean you should. Peanut butter jelly time. Being lazy. Currently testing that out at age 40, lol. Highly do not recommend it, but I want to experience it. Working retail 5 months was plenty enough for me. Drinking too much. Drinks 9 consecutive shots of vodka and dies on the spot. There's a fine line between just enough and too much, unfortunately. Breaking up a friendship after 10 years. When I should have done it sooner. My friend was showing many red flags, such as being disrespectful, lack of boundary, and gave me unsolicited advice. Keep yourself safe from those that don't have the best intention for you. Staying up for 50+ hours. Eat moldy bread. Had the she'll be right attitude. It was not right. It was very, very wrong. Just why? Honestly, I'm not sure how it was only a day old. Noticed after one bite and thought, ah well, it was just a little bit. Kept eating. I forgot to wash my hands before going to take a leak. After I had gotten hot sauce Dave's insanity on my hands. For the love of all that is holy, do not do this. That sounds kinda hot. Snorting and smoking things not meant for snorting or smoking, such as tea bags you rip open and smoke the contents of snorting milk or those Parma violets, and never ever take a Sharpie ink cartridge out and try smoking it. All these are bad ideas and will suck later in life. I smoked a crushed up ghost pepper. Hands down the most pain I've experienced in my entire life. Faster planting on graveled up tarmac after only using the front brake on your bike on high speeds. Bro, that's rule 1, you kinda had it coming. Thanks for watching. Subscribe for more Reddit videos.